Welcome to All About Money. I am Chloe Fong. In this series, we focus on non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, which essentially represent proof of ownership of an item existing on the blockchain. Some of the biggest names in business, including Gucci, Facebook, and Coca-Cola, are racing to get a slice of this pie. Joining me today is Charles Dozy, the Asia-Pacific head of ConsenSys, a startup which recently raised $450 million. Charles had worked with the Hong Kong government on fintech, and his new book, BlockCon, highlights the leading blockchain figures in the city. Welcome to the program, Charles.
Thank you for having me, Chloe. Looking forward to this.
Let's first talk about the book that was released in 2019. It has a very interesting, and I like the name actually, BlockCon. It has a lot of the Hong Kong cultures. So first, can you first run us through the idea behind the book? So what was the book all about?
Absolutely. I've been living in Hong Kong for 15 years, and I'm passionate about blockchain technology for a few years now. And over my life at the Hong Kong government, as an entrepreneur, as a student of blockchain, I met many of the champions of the technology here in Hong Kong. And what the world does not necessarily realize is that a big part of the global crypto elite is actually related to Hong Kong or started in Hong Kong. And I wanted to kind of document the life journey of these blockchain entrepreneurs, of these people switching career to dedicate their life and their working hours to blockchain. So the book is essentially covering 21 blockchain entrepreneurs from Hong Kong. It's a book I co-edited with my partner, James DiBiasio. And we want to illustrate the diversity of the people in the blockchain industry here. Some people are coming from the exchange business. Some others are former regulators which decided to change careers. We have a former TV anchor which decided to start a blockchain media. So really a very interesting diversity of persona and very interesting life journey which we cover in the book. Each interview is happening around breakfast. So I wanted also to enable the readers to discover Hong Kong, to discover the food of Hong Kong. So each interview is over breakfast in different restaurants, and discover the champions and the talent here in the city.
Right, so it's actually involved the Hong Kong local culture as well, and we can also call it like breakfast with Charles in the BlockCon, right? Also, let's talk about
and there is a Chinese version also of the book, so you can read the book in English, but you can also read the book in traditional Chinese. So I really wanted to build the bridge, so to say, and broadcast to the world the talents here.
Right, absolutely fascinating. And also let's talk about the NFT because it relies on blockchain. Can you first also, as an expert in this area, can you run us through about the history of NFT as well? So how was the first NFT work was created and how it gradually took the world by storm, particularly last year?
Absolutely. It's a very interesting question. So the first NFT was actually minted in 2014. It was called Quantum, and it was issued on a blockchain which does not necessarily exist anymore, called the colored chain. And later on, there was some phenomena which maybe some of you remember, such as the CryptoKitties by Dapper Labs in 2017. In 2017, we started to see also the marketplace, the leading marketplace for NFTs called OpenSea, being launched to the market also in 2017. And 2018 was really the year when we started to see these big successes, which really caught attention of many people. One of them is the NFT issued by the artist Beeple, which was sold for $69 million US. And I think it was a moment in the industry where suddenly everyone realized that it was not only funny pictures, but there was really economics and there was really value, and there was really attention from the artist on this blockchain support, which are the NFTs. And since then, we've seen in all over the world, including Hong Kong, a lot of different initiatives where we see big brands, IP owners, and also all kind of artists using NFTs. We had the digital art fair in Hong Kong a few months ago. So there is really a momentum which is very interesting to follow. And it really shows that this crypto native generation of young Hong Kongese, like many other young people all over the world, are really natively onboarding on this new internet, which is an internet based on blockchain technology. And NFTs is usually their first stop before discovering some other aspects of the technology.
Right. And actually, I am quite curious because NFT already exists for quite a long time, almost 7 years. But why it suddenly exploded last year, like particularly like everyone was talking about NFT since last year. Can you also help us to analyze what are the drivers for this phenomenon and what are the drivers of building this whole new NFT ecosystem?
It's very common in technology to see a growth which is coming into a hockey stick. So usually it starts slowly, it keeps growing, and suddenly there is a catalyst event which triggers a rocket and very fast growth. I think for the NFT itself, probably the period of COVID has brought people to spend even more time online, spending more time at home, and essentially exploring our digital societies and exploring the digital world with much more attention than the years before. We've seen also higher quality of NFTs. The NFTs indeed exist for many years, but in the early days, it was very experimental. What we've seen in the recent year and what has really triggered much more adoption is a variety of NFTs you could find over the past year, coming from big brands or from some very colorful and famous artists, but also a much easier experience. The user experience in blockchain technology is improving every month, and acquiring and trading NFTs today is something way easier than it was in the past. There is so better content probably on the world of NFTs. There is also better economics, and I think it's important to acknowledge that NFTs in their early days were not really making any kind of profit. It was really some kind of collection from people passionate with digital art in general. But the latest wave of NFTs have essentially triggered some speculation from time to time around NFTs, and this speculation has attracted more attention and brought many more users. And I think there is a certain number of success which have been really giving a confirmation to everyone, the big brands, the users, that this NFTs was something which is serious and here to stay. I'm thinking obviously of the NFTs from Beeple, which was sold for a very high price. But we've seen some series or collections of NFTs, such as the CryptoPunks or the Bored Ape, which got a lot of momentum. You find NFTs of music, so you can buy a song and making sure that you are the exclusive owner of this song. So there is really NFTs for all kind of generations and all kind of taste, and it's coming in really with I would say in a multimedia manner. So you've got pictures, videos, you've got NFTs for arts, you've got NFTs for sport. There is a lot of soccer leagues in the UK or everywhere around the world which are starting to create NFT series about famous players or famous moments in a match. The same way the NBA in basketball is starting to sell with a lot of success pictures or special moment or special point during a match, which essentially the fan can start to acquire and keep as a memory. So it's a very, very interesting space because it can come in very different shapes and formats and about a lot of different topics. So I guess there is content and NFTs for everyone from 7 years old to 77 years old, I guess.
Right, it's very, very diverse. And also, tell us more about the blockchain it relies on, and also the Ethereum 2.0. What was that all about, and how it is so important for the NFT's development?
Absolutely, Chloe. It's an interesting segue to understand where are these NFTs sitting. Today, more than 80% of the NFTs are sitting on the top of a blockchain technology called Ethereum. Ethereum and Ethereum compatible chain are really where the most and the vast majority of the NFTs are essentially living. And Ethereum is today the most popular smart contract blockchain. It's a blockchain which is 5 years old with millions of users. One of the gateway to the Ethereum blockchain is MetaMask, a product of ConsenSys, which you can recognize here on my T-shirt, which is essentially a digital asset wallet. And Ethereum is preparing in a few months essentially an upgrade of the software. It will be a global update. Which will essentially bring Ethereum from proof of work as a consensus mechanism to proof of stake. And what it means is that the security of the network and the transactions of the network will not depend anymore on computer calculations, but they will depend more on essentially proof of stake calculation, which is way less energy consuming energy, much less than proof of work, and will make this chain very eco-friendly with a minimal impact and minimal carbon footprint. So as you will upgrade your mobile phone with a new software, blockchains are also software based and they get upgrades. And this upgrade on Ethereum called Ethereum 2 is a very important one, and it will change the experience for the users as well as I would say the footprint in terms of carbon. So it's a very important event coming in a few months.
Right, so we definitely need to be more careful about the holistic picture as well. Thank you so much for your insights, Charles. Let's take a short break for now. Coming up next, we'll have more discussions on NFT market comparisons in Asia, and do stay tuned.